Hey guys, so I'm gonna try this again. I tried to film this video before, but it just didn't come out right. So first of all, I wanna say I am sorry for the lighting. There is a light on one side of my face and not on the other side of my face. It is gloomy and dark outside. It is raining. I have horrible lights in my house, and the light that is to my left only has a few bulbs in it. So this week's video, I am going to kind of talk about something that has been pretty popular on my Instagram, and it is identifying designer fakes. Now, I will say that I am a full-time reseller. I have been selling on Poshmark for only a few months, and I am a full-time reseller because of circumstance. I got laid off from my job, and I needed to find something to do with my time and to throw myself into. I've been laid off many, many times, and I really didn't want to go back to another 9-to-5, so this is what I've decided to do. I'm still very new. I am still learning, but I wanted to share with you guys what I have learned along the few months that I've been doing this about designer handbags, and how I was able to figure out that the ones that I have picked up are fake. So I want to start by saying that I would not recommend picking up designer handbags if you are like me and you don't really know what you're looking for. There's a lot of fakes out there. There's a lot of what they call super fakes, which are actually really good, close to the real thing fakes. And it is illegal to resell a fake handbag. And that means like a replica, something that is a direct knockoff, not something that is inspired by, but a direct knockoff. So the ones that I'm going to show you, they are illegal for me to resell. Of course, there are things out there. There are Facebook groups that cater to selling these things. I know that people resell them on the marketplace on Facebook. I see that all the time. And I guess, that is up to you what you want to do with that, but it is illegal, so do be aware of that. And also, if you do pick up something that you find out is fake after the fact, especially if you get it at a store, they generally will accept the return even if they have a no return policy, because again, it is legal. So it is illegal. So by reminding them, hey, it is illegal to sell a replica handbag, they will generally take it back. So just keep that in mind. Now, granted, I could have returned 2 of these 3 bags that I'm going to show you, but I decided to keep them to kind of remind me of what I've learned and to kind of compare and contrast when I do, if I do, grab others. So I'll start with the first replica bag that I grabbed, and the one that if you're from my Instagram, in my 30s spending under 30, you will recognize, because this is the first that I talked about. A lot of you guys found me through this discussion, and it is also the pinned story on my Instagram. Anyway, so it is a Chanel hobo bag. I'm actually gonna try to, there we go. So I picked it up because it was $10 at Savers, and it felt decent, good quality to me. Granted, it was my first week of sourcing, so my feelings about it are a little bit different now than it was back then. But I figured, you know what, for $10, I'll give it a shot. If nothing else, I like it. I like the style. It's really cute. So if I could ever find a real Chanel bag that was actually the style, oh, love, because it's gorgeous. But anyways, so there were a few things that I looked up prior to purchase to see if I thought it was real. One of the things that I had looked up was the logo to see if that was accurate. And the bottom left of the C should be over the bottom right of the C, which is correct on this handbag. So that checked off. Another thing that I had looked up prior to purchase is this inner tag here. Apparently having a hard time. There we go. The inner tag should match the interior of the bag, and the embossing should match the hardware. Check. So other than that, it was, the feel of the material, the feel of the hardware, stuff like that. So for me as a newbie, it seemed like it was possible. Also, I went on Poshmark and I was able to find a bag that was this exact bag, sold as authentic on Poshmark. The only difference was, you can see, it is so hard to show because my lighting is so bad. Okay, well, anyways, the bottom here is embossed with the CC. Again, the correct way. However, there is stitching around the CC. Now on the one that was sold on Poshmark, there was no embossing. So I did look a little bit more, and I found others sold on other sites as authentic with the embossing the way mine was. So I thought maybe it could be real. Another thing that was a little bit fishy about this one, but checked out after more research, was there's no serial code in this bag. And designer handbags do have some kind of authentication code in there. This one did not have that. But what it said was that bags made prior to the 80s, which this one seemed to be, if it was the one that I found in all these other sites, did not have serial codes. So I'm like, okay, you know what? It's possible. So anyways, I grabbed it. And I didn't know what to do. I was kind of lost. I'm like, you know, I can't go to a Chanel store and ask them. What do I do? So I did some research, and I ended up sending pictures of this bag to an app called Real Authentication. So what the app is, not sponsored, I wish. What the app is you spend $20 and you send them photos of the item you would like authenticated. What they will do is they will take a few days, they will go over the photos, and they will send you back verification of authentic or not authentic. If you pay a little bit more money, they will give you a little bit more information. So if I had invested a little bit more, they probably would have told me what it was about this bag that just from a photo they could tell was not authentic. Now, I have heard stories that they have been wrong in the past. I don't know, but what I do know is that for me, as someone that's new, I'm not going to risk my closet on guessing that they're wrong. I'm just not going to do that. So for me, them saying not authentic was good enough to say not selling it. It is legal. I guess it is now in my collection. So I have learned since then that there is a cheaper way to find out whether or not a bag is real or authentic, or at least to lean you in the right direction before spending that $20. So with the next bag, I will let you know what that is. So the next bag that I had picked up, I actually got this bag along with an authentic Kate Spade bag. Now, Kate Spade, I feel a little bit more comfortable authenticating myself because I have a lot of Kate Spade in my closet. So I recognize her patterns, I recognize the lining, I recognize the authentication tag that should be in there, I recognize the codes that should be in there, I recognize her embossing, all of that I am pretty good at picking out, so I'm very comfortable with Kate Spade. So I picked up a Kate Spade bag, and while there, I also saw this Louis Vuitton bag. It is not the best quality, and I had my doubts because the hardware is peeling and doesn't look great, okay? But I said to myself, you know what? It's $8, and I had a fear of FOMO. I just didn't want to leave it behind just in case it was real. I don't know enough about Louis Vuitton to be able to say definitively that it wasn't, so I grabbed it. For this bag, though, I said to myself, you know, $20 to authenticate it. That would mean that if I did that, I would have spent, let's see, 20 plus 20 is 40, plus another 10 for the Chanel bag. That's 50. $58 authenticating and purchasing handbags that were fake. That's a lot of money to invest at the beginning of a business. So I said to myself, you know what, I can't justify that cost. So for a while I had just left it to the side in my death pile, and I'm like, you know what, I'm not gonna list it. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait till I figure something out. After a little bit of time, I heard that if you go on the group on Facebook called Poshmark, a lot of the people there are experienced resellers, and they can give you a really good idea on whether or not the handbag is real or fake. Now, I will put a caveat here saying that while they are really good and they're really helpful, they are other resellers. They are not experts in the field, and they can be wrong. However, they do give you a lot of information, and a lot of them will point out why they believe that something is real or fake. So you can then use that information to decide, is this close enough to being confident that it's real that you'll spend that $20? Because obviously, if I spent the $20 and it was real, it would be a worthy investment. So I went on, I posted my photos, and within about a minute, they told me, nope, it's fake. There's no way it's fake. So the reasons for that were on the back of the lock. It does say made in Paris or made in France, and it says Paris above it. That apparently is a clue that it is not real. Also, this has no authentication code inside. I should have picked up on that. I think I don't know what I was doing. I don't know. I look for it now, but it has nothing inside, so that was a big one. And also the bleeding on the material, I don't know if it shows up well on camera, but if you look at any of the purple, it's bleeding. The color is bleeding. So that would not happen. So, I mean, this was poor quality to begin with, so wasn't a great pickup anyway, but I was able to figure that out, that it was a bad buy with only investing $8, which to me is way better. But again, it's another thing that's just going to be sitting in my closet. I'm actually kind of using them for photo props at this point, because we all need photo props for a good flat lay, right? Okay, so the last bag is something that I actually purchased like a week ago. It was actually purchased for me. So my fiance knew that I was having a really bad sales week. I wasn't getting a lot of interaction at all in my closet, not even likes, like nothing. And he thought, you know what, I'm going to get a Louis Vuitton for you because that'll drive some traffic, which was a great thought. However, he got scammed. So this bag was purchased on Facebook Marketplace. It was a cash transaction. And he asked all the right questions. So I looked and he did ask for the authentication code. She actually sent him a different authentication code than what is in this bag. So shady on her part, but he looked up that authentication code, was able to authenticate what the bag was, and he knew what to expect because the photos weren't great. So anyways, he did that. He asked her why she was selling the bag for so cheap. This, I mean, Louis Vuitton, you know what it is. She was selling it for $60. She was not advertising what she was selling it for, but when he messaged her, she let him know. Sorry. Anyways, and she said, you know, I have an aunt that's really rich, and she gives me a lot of really nice designer things, but they just sit around. So I didn't pay anything to get them, and I really just want to get them out of the house. So that's why I'm selling them for so cheap. She had other designer things that she was selling as well. All of the photos were really poor quality. So we didn't look at any of the other designer things. Anyway, so he got this bag. Here it is. I don't know if you can see it, but it is a clutch/toiletry bag. On first glance, it doesn't look bad. It feels nice. The stitching looks okay. I mean, it doesn't look perfect, but it looks okay. And to somebody who doesn't know anything about Louis Vuitton, I could see why you would think it was real. My first clue and the reason that I was skeptical was the hardware does not feel heavy or even like real metal. It kind of feels plasticky to me. He disagrees on that, so I guess that is something that's up to interpretation. But again, I posted this on the Facebook page that I was discussing with you, and they right away pointed out a lot of things that made me sure that it is not real, so there's no point in trying to authenticate it. One of the things they pointed out was the flowers here. They should be pointed and not rounded. Another thing they pointed out was, as I said, the authentication code. So she sent him an incorrect one. We both have her blocked on Facebook now, so I cannot tell you what the code was that she actually sent, but it is the code for this particular bag. So maybe she has that particular bag and she's selling this one as a scam. I don't know, but either way, she even had a photo of it. So I'm not sure how she got that, but she does. Anyway, the code in this bag is M47542. If you look that up, you're not going to find this because it's fake. I was also told that authentication codes do not only have one letter. And if they start with an M, it is usually a sign that it is fake. Sorry, my phone is blowing up next to me. I don't know why. I start to film a video and all of a sudden the phone's blowing up, but it never blows up any other time of the day. Anyway, there's also a weird wonky E here, if you can. It is not wanting to show you at all, so that's fun. But anyways, a very weird wonky E as well. The interior of this bag is a suede feeling material, so it's not a red flag. It feels nice. It is in relatively good condition, but again, it is a fake. So it's another thing that I will probably use for photo props. Unfortunately, it was $60. They really did scam him. I did get a really crappy dust bag, which should have probably been a huge clue to him. But, you know, he doesn't know. He's never gotten a Louis Vuitton. I don't even think he actually knew what a dust bag was. But if you can see, there you go. The colors are bleeding. and it's just really crappy quality, and I don't honestly know what a regular Louis Vuitton dust bag looks like, but I don't think it looks like this. But anyways, so those were the designer bags that I had purchased through my few months of reselling so far that I was able to determine were not real without jeopardizing my closet. So for those of you who don't know, if you do sell a fake handbag on Poshmark, they can suspend your closet. So it is not worth doing that. So if you're not sure, I would recommend just not listing it. It's not worth it. I did actually get a few offers through Instagram for the Chanel bag, and I decided not to sell it because it is illegal, and because, you know, you just never know with things like that. It is a very cute handbag. I do really like it. I think it's decent quality for a fake. Maybe as I become more comfortable and confident with things like that, I would be comfortable at least giving them away to a friend, maybe not necessarily selling them. But currently, I don't feel comfortable doing that. So right now, they're just going to be photo props in my house to add to a flat lay, to, you know, jazz them up a little bit. But beyond that, they are just not going anywhere. I don't believe in giving them back to the store, because then you're reselling it to somebody. Well, then the store is reselling it to somebody who probably doesn't know better, and they're getting scammed. So even though at a thrift store it's a very cheap price, I still don't think that is fair to somebody. I just don't. So I don't believe in doing that. And if I were to ever give them away, it would be with a very clear indication that these are not real. If you're comfortable with that, then, you know, do your thing. Now, I will say there are resellers out there who are comfortable selling fakes. They advertise them as fakes, and, you know, that's, you know, do your thing. Nobody's judging. Do your thing. But currently, right now, I just don't feel comfortable doing that just yet. But I am hoping that my experiences will help you guys be able to figure out what is real and what is fake as you come across them. I wish that I had more of a variety to share with you, but I also don't wish I do, because that would mean that I paid for them. This is enough spent on fakes. Now, I will say along the way, I have come across other handbags. There's been Gucci, there's been Prada, other Louis Vuittons, there's been Mom, which is a designer that I'm just becoming aware of, things like that, that I was either able to discount myself by looking at all of the signs that I've learned along the way, or that I was able to take pictures of in store and send to that Facebook group, and they let me know right away that they were not real. So I didn't have to actually spend any money. So definitely check out that Facebook group. It's going to be in the description below if you're looking at designer handbags. You can also shoot me a message on Instagram, in my 30s, spending under 30, and I can let you know at least what I think based on what I have learned. I'm not saying that I'm going to be 100% correct, because, of course, I can be wrong. I'm still learning, but I can give you at least a little bit of an indication of what I think. So let me know if this is helpful. If you like this type of video where I give you my tips, even though I am not an expert, I'm just letting you know what I'm learning, let me know. I am thinking next week I'm going to do a video letting you know what sold for my first 50 sales on Poshmark. Now, I have sold more than 50 at this point in time, but I think it's interesting to be able to share with you guys what is selling for a seller who does not have a large following and who is still kind of getting their feet wet and who is still building up reviews to become a trusted seller. So I kind of wanted to share that with you guys. So if you're interested in that, please let me know. Please leave a like on this video and a comment so other people can see this. I'm still building. I'm still growing. I have a very small following right now. I think these videos average about 20 views-ish. So every like, every comment is going to help one more person see this video. And that is really important to me. I want to be able to help as many newer resellers as possible. And I think that getting the word out is going to, take a lot of grassroots effort. So every one of you that puts a like on the video and a comment, I appreciate you. It really means a lot. And all of you guys that are from my Instagram that come and watch these videos, you don't even know what it means to me. It's amazing. So anyways, I will be looking forward to seeing your comments. Let me know if this helped you, and let me know if you're interested in seeing that next video, what I've learned for my first 50 sales. I'll show you everything that sold. I'll show you what it sold for, and I will let you know what I've decided from those items. Do I still pick up those brands? Do I need to get them at a lower price point? Were they things I didn't expect to sell? You know, I can tell you all of it. I'm really excited about it. So let me know if it's interesting to you, and I will see you guys very, very soon.